I'm a truckin' across the USA. Yeah, I'm truckin' just about every day. Yeah, I'm truckin'. So what you got to say? I'd like to hear it today. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd like to hear it today. Trucker John, OTR. Tuesday, Thursday, live streaming on YouTube, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Won't you join me, please? From somewhere in the United States of America is Trucker John OTR. Who knows where I'll be live streaming from? It could be a rest area. It could be a truck stop. Or maybe even a Walmart parking lot. That's right, every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's the Trucker John OTR live stream. That's right. It's going down. It's going down. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. We are here. I am here. Hopefully you guys are here. Are we all here? Is everybody here? Let's see who's here. I see first in is Fancy. Good to see Fancy. Thank you so much for being here. Always good to see Fancy. Give me a good old thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm trying to get somewhat organized here. In a way, kind of, sort of. But I got a thumbs up from Nick Rich. Thank you so much. I guess Nick can hear me, or is he just telling everybody to give the thumbs up? I don't know. Speaking of Fancy, I just want to say a special thanks to Fancy. I've been working hard over there on the Blue Sky app. They've been helping me get followers. On the last show, I think I was at 100 or something like that. I think now I'm over 600 followers on Blue Sky, and yeah, there's the thumbs ups. Thanks, guys, and thanks in large part to folks like Fancy who have been helping to get the Trucker John name out there and put me on follow lists and all that kind of stuff. So thank you, Fancy. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone who's been following me over there on Facebook or on Blue Sky, and I thank you guys for being here. And it is 11:22 in the a.m. here in the Pacific time zone in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And we're already at 70. We've had a big kind of a spike in the temperature over here, about a 10-degree spike today. So it's going to be a little bit warm. We're going to be about 70, 72 degrees, I think, is 74 they're saying is going to be the high today. But then tomorrow it's going to be right back down into the 60s, I think. Anyhow, I was up late last night doing Uber rides for all the folks here that are here for Formula One and all the folks that are here for just being here for Vegas. So I was up kind of late last night. See if I can wake up. I got this coffee going here. That'll wake me up. Let me see. Let's see who else is in the chat. We got Azolda Zen. Good to see Azolda. And hey, there's Ichabod Deer. Hey, Ichabod Deer. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. There's Aaron West, our fabulous mod, and Jolie. I see down is in there, so we're at full mod capacity here, full mod power with Aaron and Jolie, the mod squad. M West is here. Says, "Hey, you folk. Hey, folk, you too." Ichabod Deer says, "TVP World News YouTube is better than any USA news outlet, other than Trucker John channel." I'm just kidding. Let's see. We got going on down here. William's here. Hello, William. Good to see you in the old driver's lounge. Go about, dear. I perfected NYC Sicilian pizza crust. That's my achievement of late. Well, there you go. if it's one thing you're going to be known for, or that would be a good one. Anything to do with pizza. Um, hey, Wes Webb, here I am. Now you can relax. I know you were worried. Whew, yeah, whew. That's a sigh of relief. Let's see. We got just going down. Nick Rich is here. That's right, with the like number 15. Good morning, folks. With the thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Just make sure we like, subscribe, and share. And let's get it. Let's get it out there. Let's all get it out. Let's hang out. We're just hanging out. I think a lot of us were probably watching House Sparks this morning. So now this is the after show hangout where we just hang out. And I still need a haircut. Look at me. Look at me with my long, beautiful hair, just all over the place. I do need a haircut though. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I need a haircut. I'll get one of these days. Maybe I'll get one for Christmas. Maybe Santa will bring me a haircut for Christmas. Hey, Tamara Price is here. Good to see you, Tamara. Always good to see Tamara in the chat here. Ichabod Deer barely drink alcohol anymore, just toke THC. Laughing out loud. One toke over the line, sweet Jesus. As well as then, I have a Gatorade Fast Twitch. There you go. Hey, whatever gets you going there. I see Keith Polite is here. Hey, Keith, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Wes Webb says, just cooked a chicken breast and some carrots. I can put off my shopping until I get bored. Where is John to entertain us? Where is John, by the way? I'm a little behind here. Let's see, fancy coffee run. Got to get a coffee going there, yeah. As do I. I got my coffee. Ooh, yeah. I have one of those little Keurig single cup coffee makers. I like the coffee and everything, but I don't know. Is there any Keurigs that are like stronger? You guys, if anybody uses the Keurig type of the little cup type of things, I would really like to get a stronger type of coffee. I've been just getting this like Colombian blend. I think Colombian is kind of maybe middle of the road, kind of mild, maybe, or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I should go with the Italian roast. Maybe I don't know. Anyone have any suggestions? I'm all ears. I'm all ears, folks. Willing to filling up my bowl. I think we're talking about THC again, or whatever, or something of that nature. Wes Webb, I'm a dark meat man, but chicken breasts were available. I'm running out of meat. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wes is running out of meat. That can't be good. That can't be good. Let's see. We got just seeing who else is in there. Tim Farrell's here. Yep, Fancy is all right. Okay. Nick Rich, nobody has over 500 followers on Blue Sky. Congratulations, Nick Rich. Congratulations. M. West says, Nick Rich and everyone, are we still looking forward to this Trucker John person I just subscribed to, or is he team guest kind of guy? Is he a team guest kind of guy? Team guest. I don't know what that means, but here I am. Here's what you've been waiting for. Right here. In the flesh. Trucker John, where I blow my nose continuously on camera. And I'm sorry for that. Someone has suggested maybe I have allergies. I don't know. I've never been diagnosed with allergies, really, but I have never been sneezing and blowing my nose so much as I have in these last couple of weeks. So maybe I've gotten some allergies in my old age. I don't know. But M. West, if you're still here, thanks for being here. I do appreciate you coming on in and checking it out. Left Wing Gorilla's here. Okay. Good to see Left Wing Gorilla. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us in the chat room. Always good to see new faces, new names. I hope you'll like, subscribe, and share, and keep coming back. Surfer Norm's here. Oh, that's right. I guess there is F1 Tamale. I can't. Maybe it used to be a big. Oh, I used to be a big fan of F1, but just too damn greedy to care. Yeah, They do seem to be this organization. I don't know much about them, really, had not followed them or anything, but seeing from them coming to Vegas here, a year ago, or the first race was last year, a year ago. Again, I apologize for all this nose blowing, but some of their tactics do seem like they are totally on some sort of power trip. Um, but anyhow, it is interesting. It is kind of fun to watch. It's kind of a neat visual, I think, of the race on the strip and all that kind of stuff. But it is what it is. Left Wing Gorilla just poured a cold one. All right, crack one open, man. Crack one open for me. Hey, Lorraine Sparviero is here. Good to see Lorraine. Thanks for being here, joining us. Sayaz here. Shave and a haircut, 2 bits. Boom, boom. What up, bum? Oh. Aaron West, I got a free haircut the other night, and it doesn't suck. Hey, that's a twofer. It was free and it didn't suck. So there you go. Can't beat that with a stick. M. West, I see he had his hangout with Hal 2 days ago. Oh yeah, we do this on a regular basis. Well, Thursdays and Saturdays. Thursdays we do a pre-show hangout. That's the difference. Thursday it's a pre-show hangout, and then Saturdays it's an after show or a post-show hangout. So if you're new to the show, yeah, we'll get you up to speed. Sandy Harrington says Italian roast is good or an espresso grind. Well, do they make that for the Keurig? I'm talking about those little cups. I know they do have the Italian roast, I think, or French roast. Aaron says French roast. Sandy says Italian roast. I don't know if they have espresso grind, but I don't know. They do have so many different varieties. So yeah. Wes Webb says pour the little cup into boiling water, strain out the ground. Oh, that's too much work, Wes. You know me. Come on. That's way too much. That's too much. Lorraine Sparviero, yes, with Italian roast. The Italian roast. Zolazin, not sure about coffee strength, but my grandmother has a Keurig, and I think the Gavalia cups taste the best. Gavalia. I think I have tried those a long time ago. Maybe because I've been buying at Albertsons. I've been getting I think their the store brand, the Signature, which is probably just it's probably just Starbucks or something relabeled. That's what the store brands that you buy are usually just some other manufacturer that they just relabel. I mean, and not illegally. They do it through illegal means. They have permission to do it. I remember I used to pick up water for Crystal Geyser. If you're out in the East Coast and further east from where I'm at, you might not even know what Crystal Geyser is. But out here, West Coast, most of the Western states, Crystal Geyser is, well, that's what I drink right here. This is my bottled water of choice. I'm not going to get into a debate about bottled water, okay? I know people are against it, but I drink bottled water, and this is what I get: Crystal Geyser. It's bottled right from the source in California, out of these natural springs. It's great water. It's the best water, and there is a difference because there's also Arrowhead. I don't know if Arrowhead is nationwide, but it's big out here out west, and they bottle it from. I guess it's a natural source, and up in Arrowhead, where my kids live, in the mountains in Southern California. And every time I've ever drank a bottle of Arrowhead water, I get heartburn. So I don't know what that's all about. People say it's just water. All water is the same. I beg to differ. And I think that this Crystal Geyser, I love it. It's just really, it just seems like really clear tasting fresh water or whatever. Anyhow, but I used to, as a truck driver, I used to go in and pick up, loads of water from there, from the Crystal Geyser plant, I guess, bottling manufacturing plant or whatever. Right there in California, up in the Sierras, up in almost by Bishop and up 395, and But then they also sometimes they would load, you know, pallet, big pallets of this other brand, and it was Crystal Geyser water, but it was whatever they call the water they sell at Trader Joe's. I think it's called Spring Geyser or something like that. It's almost like Crystal Geyser, but it's a different name, and it's got the Trader Joe's you know label on it, but it's Crystal Geyser water. It's the same exact water. It's the same exact water that goes into these Crystal Geyser bottles. But Trader Joe's had, I guess, a deal where they purchase water through Crystal Geyser, and they haven't put their label on it. And if you look real closely on the Trader Joe's label, it'll say, I think it'll say bottled at or something like that from CG Roxanne. CG stands for Crystal Geyser. Roxanne is the name of that plant, that bottling plant, or what, I guess you call it a plant. I know my dad used to work at the cement plant, and I was always like, "Why is it a plant?" He's like, "Ah, this is what they call it." But that's just the big factory, basically. Anyhow, oh boy, I sure do go off on tangents, don't I? Oliver Brownlow says, contrary to what you might think, lighter roasts contain more caffeine, darker roasts contain less, but can taste more robust. Oliver Brownlow coming in with some coffee facts. Fancy says, did you get my Facebook messages? Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? I haven't checked any really messages on Facebook. I don't know. Fancy says saline nasal mist. It will work. Saline nasal mist. Okay, I have to remember that. And I have to remember to get a pad and a pen to write, because I always forget, and I'm going to forget. But maybe I won't forget this time. I don't know. Ichabod Deer, the greatest polluter in coffee history is K-cups, all those plastic single-use. I know, Ichabod, I know. I'm an evil, evil person, and for doing this, for using K-cups. But if I'm going to be evil, I'd rather it be evil in that way than be evil in some other way, like a Donald Trump kind of way or Adolf Hitler kind of way. But I guess some people say it's, that first step. I've taken the first steps to being an eagle genocidal maniac or something, I guess. I don't know. Nick Rich, I buy cheap coffee at the dollar store. Tastes okay. Well, I guess it's better than it tasting like shit. Oliver Brownlow says, try Loratadine. It did wonders for me, over the counter allergy relief. But see, I don't know if I have allergy. That's the thing. I don't know if it's allergies or just some sort of head cold that won't go away. Think about, dear, I grind whole beans, French fries. You guys are awesome. You and Wes and stuff like that. You can grind away all you want. I'm not there yet. I'm not saying I'll never be there, but I'm not there yet. Okay, I'm doing the thing where I get up, I shuffle into the kitchen, I load the thing up with a cup of water, I stick the K-cup thing in there, and I push it down, and I push a button, and I got a cup of coffee in about 2 minutes. But who knows? Maybe one day I'll be grinding my little coffee beans and straining things and filters, and who knows? I'm not going to close the door on it. Wes Webb says, I have a Mr. Coffee that I only use for company, usually make Folgers or hotel coffee. Hotel coffee? What is hotel coffee? People always tell me how good it is. I think that it is strong. See, I used to have a Mr. Coffee. In fact, I keep talking about this storage facility that I have back in California, the mysterious storage facility, and I'm pretty sure I have a Mr. Coffee in there somewhere. That's why I am reticent. Is the word reticent? Or it's kind of like hesitant. What's the difference? What is the difference between hesitant and reticent? But anyhow, I'm a bit wary. Am I wary or leery? Okay, anyhow, about buying stuff because I know I got all this shit in my storage, and one of these days I'm going to get the shit out of the storage and I'm going to bring it up here. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. What can I tell you? Mr. M. West says, I can hear. Thanks, John, for explaining. I'm a splainer. M. West Sumatra pour over. Oliver Brownlow, they make virtually every kind of coffee for the Keurig. Well, I know that, but I'm just wondering, like, which one would be like one that would be like, that's a nice strong cup of coffee. I'm going to get a really good, caffeine buzz out of it. I guess that's what I'm asking about. I guess maybe that's what it is. Because this coffee here, I mean, there are some places, some restaurants where usually before, because I like to add cream and sugar, right? But I'll usually drink it black at first, take a few sips of it. And sometimes there are some places where the coffee is so good that I go, that's good coffee, and I'll just drink it black. I won't even add anything. I don't think that's the case with these Keurigs. I think I pretty much have to add my French vanilla cream and some sugar. But I don't know. Oliver Brownlows, I like Colombian or French roast. Yeah, I've got the Colombian right now. And what the fuck is breakfast blend? Sometimes I get the breakfast blend, and I'm just like, I just buy it because I'm like, well, it is breakfast. I usually only have coffee in the morning when I have breakfast, so I guess I'll get the breakfast blend. I don't know, man. It doesn't taste any different to me, so I don't know. M. West says, not to disparage, but whenever I hear Keurig, I have a hard face palm. So much plastic per each go. I know I'm evil. I'm horrible. I am. I probably deserve to be thrown in prison for the rest of my life. In West, people aren't against water, John. It's the plastic. I know they're not against water. I know it's the plastic bottle. Nick Rich, the tap water here is great, but it's hard for me to go around as I'm walking around doing my thing, holding the water that I got out of the tap. I got This is a really nice, convenient carrying device, and I know you can buy, bottles that you reusable bottles. I know. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy a reusable bottle, and I'm just going to fill it up with Crystal Geyser, and you guys will never be the wiser. You just think, oh, he's using tap water. I'm going to fool you guys. I will fool you guys. One day. One of these days, I'm going to fool you guys. You're going to think John is doing the environmentally responsible thing. He's using tap water, and look, he's using that reusable bottle. What a guy. What a great guy old Trucker John is. I'm going to fool you guys one of these days. One of these days. Nick Rich, my bank account won't allow for bottled water. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it costs money, but I think it's a 35 pack. And today's show is not brought to you by Crystal Geyser, by the way. But anyhow, and I think it's about $6 and something cents. So I don't know. I mean, it's not like it's granted. I mean, $6.35 or whatever that 35 pack thing costs. I could put that towards something else, but anyhow. Big Dog NC is here. Hey, Big Dog. Good to see the Big Dog in the driver's lounge. Welcome to the driver's lounge. M. West says, I know someone working for NOAA who says the old school method of sodas, I don't know what that is being implemented for entire towns. I don't know. I just heard someone's yelling outside. For those of you new to the show, I do live in an apartment building, and sometimes the neighbors can get kind of loud. Fortunately, I think this internet's tiniest microphone doesn't pick that up. So you guys can be spared the neighbors yelling at one another. Yes, West Webb. I have a couple Brita filters, and I've used Brita. And again, in that storage facility in Lancaster, I'm pretty sure. I bet you I've got a Brita, but I have the Brita container. I probably would, buy some new filters at this point. I I have boxes and boxes and boxes. I have a whole house full of stuff in my storage facility because I moved out when I moved out of California to here. I just stuck everything in storage because basically I was living in my truck for the most part, and when I would come home, home here to Vegas, I was basically living in hotels. So that's why I have a whole house full of stuff in Lancaster, and it's not here, and I need to get it here. And it's just one of those things. Logistically, I got to take time off. I got to rent a truck. I got to drive the truck all the way there. It's like 200 miles and something more than that, I guess. 250 miles. I got to take the time off. I got to load the truck. Probably got to get help at this point because I'm really old and feeble. I'm going to need some help. I got to coordinate all that, and then bring it all back up here. It's a whole thing, of time and money and effort. But I will do it at some point. Maybe you know how people do New Year's resolutions. Maybe that will be one of my New Year's resolutions for 2025 is to get my shit up here. Not just to get my shit together, but to get my shit here. M. West says, pour your tap water in a clear glass bottle and set in the windowsill for a day or two. It tastes like spring water. All righty. Ichabod, your Trucker John, get a French press. Real simple. You know what? You're right, Ichabod. Because I just remembered my kids, and probably because of their mom, I think she bought a French press thingy. And because whenever I go to their house, they have that, and they do use it. And as I recall, it is kind of simple to use, actually, and it is very good coffee. So Ichabod, you're right, and I should probably do that. I don't think it's expensive. I don't think it's cumbersome or anything like that. You're right. So, yeah, thanks for reminding me about that. That's a good idea. And I do like the coffee. But then what am I going to do with my Keurig thing that I have? Am I going to just throw that away now or what? I don't know. Then I got that. I got that whole debacle or whatever, or conundrum, I guess. I guess it'd be more of a conundrum than a debacle. Surfer Norm says one of the first places Los Angeles got water from was the Mammoth Crowley Lake area. There were big fights about the water at the turn of the century. Yeah, and that's near where the Crystal Geyser Roxanne plant is, up near the Crowley Lake area, I believe. Ichabod Deer says I never buy bottled water. Well, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you guys never buy it. M. West says trucker pour over is so much easier and cheaper. As old as in, big companies are polluting the environment more than we are using K cups and plastic. Well, thank you, as old as in. It kind of sounds like you're coming to my defense a little bit. Thank you. And I understand the environmental. We all can do our part, and maybe at some point I will do that. And I try to do my part in other ways. Think about it, dear. Bottled water should be illegal. The plastic bottles. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. Wes Webb says someday all those plastic bottles in the landfill will be dug up as treasure. They'll be like, "Ooh, look at this! Look at this!" Big dog, I drink straight out of the tap. Smells like chlorine, but yeah, you get used to it. Wes Webb, then don't complain about the strength take caffeine tap. No. I'm not complaining. Was I complaining? You guys, was I complaining? I was not complaining. I was just asking for suggestions. I was not complaining, Wes Webb. Consider this your first warning before I boot you today. I'm just kidding. M. West, solar disinfectant. Solar disinfectant. I ain't never heard of it. Oliver Brown, it doesn't matter if you have allergies or not. Technically, Loratadine combats the symptoms you're having. Oh, okay. Well, if I had a pen and a pad, I would write that down on my list of things to look into later on. But I don't, so I probably will forget. Think about dear, I have filtered water, well water living in Vermont Green Mountains. It is excellent and free. That sounds great. That sounds awesome. Big Dog says my coffee machine has a built-in filter in the water tank. Keurig. Oh, okay. Nick Rich, all the stimulation I need, I guess, is puff puff. Puffs of smoke. That's all Nick needs. Wes Webb, I don't make coffee in the hotel, so I collect the coffee bags and put them in my Mr. Coffee at home. I don't have any left right now that aren't decaf. I hate those decaf ones. I've stayed at hotels where I ran out of the regular and then I drank the decaf just because I wanted a cup of coffee. And it still tastes the same, but I always feel like I'm getting cheated, you know, because I want the caffeine. M. West says my nephew, who was brewing chops. Wait, who has brewing chops? He wasn't brewing the chops. He has them. Okay, my bad. So let me restart. Let me start over. This is from M. West. Uh, I don't think this is Mae West. I believe Mae West has passed away. So we have M. West here. It says my nephew, who has brewing chops, tells me the light roasts have the most caffeine and antioxidants. There you go. The dark roast is more about flavor. Today's show is all about coffee. Coffee talk. Coffee talk with Trucker John. Here we go. And with M. West. M. West, storing coffee is less caffeine. Storing coffee? Or strong coffee? Strong coffee, maybe. I don't know. I think he meant strong coffee. I think we got a little bit of, transposing there. Ichabod Deer says $10 to $20 for 2.5 pounds of whole bean coffee lasts quite a long time. Yeah, I think getting the French press thing is a good idea, but I do have limited counter space, and I have a Keurig already. That if I don't use the Keurig, then it's just gonna. I guess I have to just maybe I could sell it on eBay or something. I don't know. Let somebody else deal with it. Big Dog large iced coffee with chocolate at Sonic Drive-In. Yeah, that sounds good. West Webb, Ichabod Deer, you are always trying to incite jealousy. Carolyn Phillips is here. Hey, Carolyn says, you're just used to that truck stop mud in a cup of coffee. That's what my dad used to call it. Actually, I drink a lot of coffee, like from Pilot, Flying J. And I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was actually pretty good stuff. But there were some places like Petro and TA, especially. I don't think they did it too much at Pilot or Flying J, but and then there were some other maybe lesser known truck stops. They would have that. They had that coffee. It was like that extra jolt, that really high. I think they were just putting cocaine in it or something. I don't know what they were putting in it, but I remember one time I got a big old cup of their super extra caffeinated coffee. I forget. They have a special name for it. It's right. So they I think they want to make sure that that you're not getting the regular coffee. So they have it's labeled, it's branded. It's like here's the extra jolted coffee. And I remember when I first started driving, I got a big old large cup of that. My God, I think I felt like I had just done 3 railers off of a hooker's stomach. I mean, it was just but not only did it give me that jolt. But it also made me. It did remind me of the old 80s days of not really snorting cocaine so much, but snorting speed, like bathtub speed. I mean that's which made me all jittery and biting my lip, and I was like, I'm never drinking this shit ever again, never ever. And I think, in the next 20 years of driving, I think I may have tried one of those one more time in a smaller cup, and I think I only drank a few sips of it or something. I was so afraid, and it did give me a little bit of a buzz. But man, that first time I drank that super caffeinated coffee, it was like flashbacks of 1985. So if I was gonna do that super jolted, super caffeinated coffee that they have at the TA, I would suggest for myself, I guess, that I would do a half and half, do a half regular coffee and maybe half of that other super jolt. Because man, I tell you that if I was a person in recovery, which I'm not, I'm not doing that. But if I was to say if I was in recovery for speed addiction or cocaine addiction, and I drank that coffee, I think I would have had a total relapse. That shit was just crazy, man. It was crazy, baby. I tell you, crazy, wild shit. Loretta Banks is here. Hi, my lovely fellow Americans and international spirits. Hello, Loretta. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I'd like to say hi to. I'm not sure if Loretta was here before, but if you were, thanks for coming back. And if this is your first time, welcome to the Driver's Lounge. And I hope you'll stick around and hang out with us. Sandy Harrington's here. Sandy says I'd say get dark roast coffee pods, but someone said light roasts were stronger, so I'm questioning everything I ever knew about coffee. Right, I know. It's just it seems like it's backwards or opposite of what it should be, but what do I know? I'm not an aficionado. Shannon's Tigre is here. Hey, Shannon, good to see you. Shannon and the other Shannon. I saw Shannon left some comments on the YouTube videos. You guys, I got lots of YouTube videos. If you see one pop up, go ahead and watch a little bit of it. I know some of them are 2 or 3 hours long. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but maybe click on it and watch a few minutes of it. Give it a thumbs up, that kind of stuff. That kind of helps the show, helps us get out there into the algorithms, things of this nature. Let's see. I'm just skipping down a little bit because I know I've been kind of behind, we're time-wise here. And we're talking about coffee. Fancy says, try a pod trucker, John. They even have people you can hire. They will bring it to you. A pod? Oh, a pod. Well, I'm in an apartment. I live in an apartment. So when you do the pod, I guess you could drop it off in the parking lot, and then I would unload it. Okay, and then they would take the pod away. That's a good idea, Fancy. Fancy, you always have good ideas. I didn't think about the pod. Because I priced out getting a truck and all that, and what the mileage would be and how much they charge per mile, to get a U-Haul. I didn't even think about the pod thing. So thanks for bringing that up. And my imaginary pad and pen, I'm writing that down. That's number 3. I think the first one was something about no more plastic bottles or something. Number 2 was you're a dick for using plastic bottles. Number 3, you're an asshole for using plastic bottles. Okay, number 4 is going to be I'm going to use the pod. Oh, there was something about loratadine. I'm putting that on my imaginary list. Hopefully, won't forget because my imaginary list is imaginary. Well, Jolie says you can sell anything on Facebook. Oh, Facebook Marketplace, and someone will buy it. So I guess I should, once I get my French press, I should sell my Keurig on the Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to put that on my imaginary list. My imaginary pad and pen here. That would be number 6. Sell the Keurig on Facebook Marketplace. Number 7. Oh yeah. By the way, John, you're still an asshole. Okay, I'll put that down. That's number 7. MJ Dan is here. Hey everybody, my coffee maker died, so I use my coffee press. Makes just about the right amount and tastes great. I've been using blue agave for sweetener. There you go. That sounds incredibly liberal, progressive of you. I'm just joking. It sounds great. It sounds beautiful. It sounds wonderful. Mr. Spock is here. We're going to do one of these. Mr. Spock, live long and prosper. I'm an Italian Vulcan. Do they have Italian Vulcans? Whatever they're called. Anyhow, hi, Mr. Spock. Good to see you. And live long and prosper to your chickens, although I think you eat some of them, so they might not live so long. Wes Webb just said that Asheville was safe to drink. Asheville was safe to drink. I don't want to drink Asheville. Oliver Brownload, you could give your Keurig away to the live stream to a random chatter. But then you see, actually, I guess what I should do is I should destroy it with a sledgehammer. If I really was concerned about the environment and the evilness of using the plastic little K-cups I guess the right thing would be for me to just destroy it with a sledgehammer into a million pieces and throw it into the trash dumpster or something. I know someone would say, "Well, you're filling the landfill now" or something, but I just can't win, guys. I can't win. Walter McCarovich says, "Good afternoon, Trucker John. Are you live streaming from the Formula One race tonight?" No, I'll be dry. I mean, I'll be doing Uber. I do Uber. I'll be out working tonight. I mean, I guess I could do a quick little look in. I mean, there's not really any places where I could go where you're going to see anything. You're not going to see the race. They have the race completely blocked off, where you can't see anything unless you've paid to be there. And I mean, there are a few little places where you could walk, where you might get a quick glimpse of it. But honestly, if I'm out working, I don't really have the time to park and then find a place where I could do something. So I don't. So basically, the answer is no. But you know, I could maybe do just a quick little, hey, a quick little impromptu, like, hey guys, here I am from the F1. Here it is, and you could see probably some buildings or something. I don't know. But I'll be busy working because you can make a good amount of money. Uber is they're adding an extra $15 for every ride on top of the fare, whatever the fare is. Uh, Around in this, they have an area around the track. You get an extra $15 for that, and that adds up. When you're doing, if you do 15 or 20 rides or 25 rides or whatever you're doing, that can add up. So I'll probably be working, taking advantage of that because got to pay the rent somehow. Carolyn Phillips says, Crystal Geyser is good. We drink that when we can't get Ice Mountain. We recycle all our soda, water, and milk bottles. Good for you. That's what I say. Recycle. Um, and then it looks like Wes got a little butthurt. He said, you said strong. Boot all you want. I need to go grocery shopping. Well, you go grocery shopping. I was only kidding, Wes Webb, about booting you. Ichabod Deer says you can buy a refill K-Cup for your Keurig so you can grind your own and use. Another great idea. I'm putting that on the list. Okay, wait. Number 9, Sugar John, you're a stupid fucking dick. Okay, I put that down. Number 10, refill K-Cup. I think I have seen those. That's a good idea. Ichabod Deer, thanks. You guys are full of great suggestions. I may sound like I'm making light of them, but those are really some great ideas. Nick Rich, I tried coffee whitener once. Do you mean by whitener, you mean cream? You're talking about creamer? Or is that Canadian, weird Canadian nomenclature? I just alienated all my Canadian audience, which is probably like half. I'm going to put that on my pin, my imaginary pin. Number 11, note to Joker John, don't say things that will offend the Canadians, you stupid ass motherfucker. Okay, my list is getting long here. My list. Big Dog, Coke adds life. Ha ha ha. Coke reference to the stuff I was talking about earlier. Wes Webb, I can't drink coffee. Makes my stomach grumble. Nick Rich, just me. I think it is just you, but I don't know. Maybe not. About the buffering. I haven't seen anything on my end. So hopefully we're not buffering. Supernome, Left Wing Gorilla, hey, they probably still do, isn't ephedrine, what is no dose? Ichabod Deer, West Webb, yes, that's why you drink coffee in the morning before shit shower and shave. Yeah, that's good advice too. Carolyn Phelps says the old truck stop diners had that strong coffee. It kept my dad awake from Wisconsin to Kentucky. He would fill up his thermos. Westwood 11, and I'm not talking. I'm really serious. The coffee I was talking about, that's not just even the strongest coffee in the diners. That's not what this shit was. Whatever they were selling at some of these truck stops, and it was labeled like super caffeinated Jolt coffee or whatever. That's not anything like I've ever drank. I've drank at those diners. I've drank at those greasy spoons. I've drank at all that coffee at all those places. This is not that. This is something else. This was something that really, really, it was like you just snorted, an 8 ball all at once. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy, man. Let's see. Nick Rich, or so Wes says I drink tall tea all day. Something about poop. Yeah, we don't need that. Torby Cat's here. Hey, Torby, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here. We're talking a lot of coffee talk today, and about what an asshole I am. JD Christie's here. JD says coffee is straight out of the lemur's ass. Oof, yeah. That's how they made it, right? Originally? Uh, coca beans that were eaten by animals and shit out, I guess cats or something. And then they would make coffee out of it, I guess. MOS John, donate the Keurig and donate the Brita. Between sodas and purifying tap water is an easy pickup of a stoneware cone for pour overs. Sodas is old school. Use your windowsill. My windowsill. I live in an apartment. My windowsill. The amount of sun. It's weird. It's late afternoon. I get some sun, but anyhow, not sure if it would work here in my case. But and to be realistic, I'm not going to do any of that shit. I don't see myself doing any of that shit. Hey, Robert Perez is here, even though those are great ideas, and they're wonderful. I'm not, but I just know me. I know how I operate, and it probably ain't gonna happen. And it probably ain't gonna happen. I ain't gonna be putting no water up in the windowsill. I ain't gonna be doing all this pour over. And I think those are wonderful, grand ideas and great things, and I applaud you for doing them. But I don't see me doing that. I just don't. Anyhow, yeah, Robert Perez is here. Good to see you, Robert. Oliver Brownlow, another thing you should put on your list is a pad of paper. Yes, absolutely. Number 12, Trucker John, you're an idiot. Number 13, buy a pad or get a pad. I think I have a pad. Get the pad and pen and put them on your little desk here, your little table. Okay, that was a long one. That was a long number 13. Hey, McJet's here. Hey, McJet. McJet! Get McJet! Get me McJet! McJet, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Always good to see McJet in the chat, in the driver's lounge. Jimmy Roberts is here. Hey, Jimmy, good to see you. Jimmy says, I love it that these podcasts are putting a serious dent in mainstream media. Absolutely. I mean, if it's one thing that we're going to do here, we're going to get the coffee issue and the K-Cup issue. We're going to go mainstream with that. We're going to take the world by storm. And we're going to, the mainstream media, they've been lying to us about the K-Cups. They've been lying to us about the water. They've been lying to us about Keurig. And we're going to go mainstream and once and for all, we will get the truth out about the K-Cups. Absolutely, Jamie Roberts. Spot on. You're spot on. Robert Perez, Philip Bittner got me depressed this morning. Yeah, hey, man. We'll after we're done with the K-Cup issue, I'll talk about Ukraine. Slava Ukraini, it's right behind me. Philip Bittner has every right to be depressed because it's imperative that Ukraine gets all the military aid and help and weapons and that they can get. We cannot let Vladimir Putin get away with this fucking illegal, unprovoked invasion and takeover of Ukraine. We cannot let that happen. Okay, so anyhow, let me skip down. I'm just trying to get a little bit caught up here in the chat. MJ Daniel watching Phil on House Show pissed me off all over again. We'll touch on that in a little bit here. McJet, my grandson has a YouTube channel, him smashing things. There you go. I'm really not going to smash my Keurig though. Like I said, I don't think I'm really going to do it. I'll be using it. I use 1 cup a day. It's not like I'm using 100 cups a day or something. Mine is Kevin. Hey, Fancy, just made my first pack. Oh, is that the starter pack? I made a starter pack when I first went on there. I guess a couple weeks ago. I guess I didn't do it right, and then I went and made another starter pack that I think is better. And so with that, and with the help of Fancy, who's been putting me on like follow lists and has been recommending me to people, and I appreciate that very much. I'm up to over 600 followers. Not anywhere near what like other people have, but hey, I'll take it. 600 is better than 99. Fancy says it would be okay if you got up. Okay, I know, right? At this point, Trucker John, get up off your lazy ass, walk 15 feet, get the pad, get the pin, walk your lazy ass back to your chair. You're so right, Fancy. You're so right. See, where would I be without you guys? Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna follow Fancy's advice. I will be right back. I'm gonna go get the pad and the pin. So there will be no more imaginary pin and pad. It will be real. It will be the real deal. Okay? I'll be right back, right back. And enjoy the artwork. Enjoy the fancy high-tech graphics. And talk amongst yourself. I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, look, I found this pad. This is one that I got when I stayed at hotel rooms. Here's from the Super 8, the beautiful high-end Super 8. It says, take notes along the way. So I've got this. Now I got to remember all the stuff that you guys suggested. Number one, I'll put number one. The one I remember was from Fancy about pods. I'm just going to put pods. Number two, what are we going to do? French press. I'll do French press. Let's do French press. Number three was what the loratadine. Laura, I'll figure that out. What's number four? I don't know. You guys maybe can remind me what number four should be. And then, here's what I found. Here's one of my trucker sayings. This used to be. I actually had this taped up because I said it one time on the air. I thought it was so profound. Now, as I'm reading it back, it's not so profound. But here's what I wrote. This is from a quote from where do we go? There we go. It's never too late to start thinking about next week. Trucker John. See, folks. For your regular viewers, you know this, I guess. That's the type of stuff you're not going to see that on House Sparks. You're not going to see that even on the mainstream media. Rachel Maddow is not going to say something so profound as that, is she? Never in a million years are you going to hear Rachel Maddow say something so profound. So, folks, this is why Trucker John needs to go big time. This is why Trucker John needs to be as big as Brian Tyler Cohen, who has like 3 million followers or subscribers just on YouTube alone, not counting all the other platforms. This is why I need to be as big as David Pakman. Because of this. Because of this right here. You don't get that. Would Brian Tyler Cohen ever say something like, it's never too late to start thinking about next week? No, he would not. That's why you need to like, subscribe, share. Because you don't get that. You don't get that. What was the other one the other day that Jolie seemed to really like? I said, when they go low, you kick them in the head. I kind of like that one too. I should write that one down. But I'm running out of room already on my pad here. Let me move this table in a little bit. Yeah, so that's why this show needs to be as big as TYT and as big as Joe Rogan. Would Joe Rogan ever say anything that's so profound as that? Fucking Joe Rogan. Joe's just like, Tommy, what was that thing? I think I heard it was Trucker John. What did he say? What was that thing about too late? It's too late, never too late. But we really tried to make it. What was that? He said. That was my Joe Rogan. And scene, thank you. Marsha's here. Marsha says, Trucker John, I'm sorry, I'm so late. I had to change my old phone. Marsha, we were wondering, where's Marsha? Where's Marsha? Where's Marsha? But that's okay. You had to charge your phone. I don't blame you for that. Because you don't want to be midstream and then the phone dies. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. I know I'm only coming through in one side of the stereo, probably, according to Nick Rich or somebody. You're only hearing me on one ear. But hey, you know what? One ear's better than no ears. That's what I was saying. I was saying that to Scylla. Hey, Scylla. Just the other day, I was like, hey, Scylla. Can you hear me? Hey, Scylla, could you hear me? And she said, I will hear you. She didn't talk like that. She said, I can only hear you from one ear. I said, hey, Scylla, I think you got some wax in that other ear. Or something like that. Anyhow, Kimchi's here. Kimchi, sorry so late. Beautiful genius mud trucker, Sugar John, gorgeous at Jolie. Kimchi, where have you been? You've missed a lot of great material. You missed my A game. People who are new here, they're going, A game? What A game? This has been a total shit show. The Soulcraft is here. Hey, Soulcraft, good to see you. Says, yeah, Wes, I'm kind of addicted to damn goodies, headache powders, and those have a shit ton of caffeine. So technically, I'm cheating anyway. Hey, the Soulcraft, good to see you. I don't think I've seen you here before, so thank you so much. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share if you would, so that we can be as big as Joe Rogan someday. And all the world, they'll be clamoring to go on the Trucker John show. The next presidential nominee, the next Democratic presidential nominee will not skip my show. When Trucker John says, would you please come on and do an interview, they will say, how high? How many times? When? Could we do it this instant? They will be, that's how big this show's got to get. I know, I must be the crystal geysers going to my head at this point. The crystal geyser done went to my head. There's non-useful. Hey, good to see non-useful in chat. Non-useful says, hey, Trucker John, barbecue chicken breast with blue hog sauce. I don't know what that is. Grilled purple potatoes, grilled turnips, grilled stuffed mushrooms with the cheese and the scallions, fresh homemade apple, and Watergate salad. I would only eat the Watergate salad on like an anniversary date of Nixon resigning or something like that. But anyhow, it sounds delicious. There you go. Always trying to make me, jealous and hungry at the same time. Surfer Donor says, Ichabod Deer, have you seen the track at Nuremberg Ring? They have a pay for a lap there, and anybody can do it. It's pretty funny sometimes. Huh, I've never seen that. How come you didn't ask me? I want to play too. You know, this game of Have You Ever Done It? I want to play. Not fair. Anyhow, Soulcraft says, thank God for A&W root beer, no caffeine and cane sugar instead of fructose. None of that fructose. No way. We're not doing no fructose. No way. Would you like a little fructose? No way. That was just a little PSA about fructose and not wanting it. Soulcraft says the only thing I've ever had from Starbucks is a vanilla bean smoothie. I've had lots and lots of. I just usually get just regular old plain coffee there. Their coffee's. I think their coffee's pretty good. Just the regular, coffee. But I've also gotten some of their fancy drinks. Fancy, not fancy that are fancy, but fancy drinks. Carolyn Phelps says this will get everybody mad at me. I make my ice out of bottled Ice Mountain water and put it in my Yeti cup with more bottled water. Oh no, Carolyn, you have no idea the rain of shit you're gonna get now. No, I'm just kidding. Most people in the chat are pretty nice, except to me. And they're actually nice to me. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Kimchi, what did I miss about K-Cups? Oh, Kimchi. No. I'm not. You're going to have to at some point back this up, and I'm not reliving the nightmare of the K-Cup conversation. I'm sorry, Kimchi. I love you, but I'm not reliving that horror. You need to, if you're interested, you can rewind and go back. But I am not going. I'm not rehashing the K-Cup controversy. No. No. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. The Soulcrest says, I'm also replaced by robots on Blue Sky. Oh, it's my Nin type project, like 9 Inch Nails. I don't know, where I to be my blue self. Fancy says, two ladies back. Surfer Dome Ichabod Deer. The land is pretty expensive, and I think TV makes a difference for the races. Big tracks are hard to cover. Oh, you guys are talking about Nuremberg or whatever that. Because when I think of Nuremberg, I think of war crimes, war criminal trials, Nazis, and being hanged. It's a good memory. M. West one praised Trump for shaking hands with Biden and supporting Ukraine. He is motivated by praise. Yeah, we'll get into that too. We'll talk about Biden in a little bit here. I got some things to say about Biden, and I will be addressing that in a second here. Let me write that on my list so I don't forget. Talk about Biden. All right. Let's talk about Biden. What was the other thing we were going to talk about? Now I forgot the other thing I was going to talk about. Maybe about Ukraine, I guess. We'll talk about Ukraine. Now, let me put that on the list. It's nice having a pad and a pen. I need this. Guys, I really needed this. Thanks, Fancy, for telling me to go get it. Let's see here. We've got Misty Hunter Eva, Dempsey Peraza Holman. Boy, that's a mouthful. Misty Hunter Eva, Dempsey Peraza Holman. I hope you don't mind if I just shorten it to Misty or Misty Hunter at some point. I mean, just if I'm addressing one of your posts or something. Anyhow, Misty Hunter Eva Dempsey Rosa says yeah. So investigation needed and magically never happens. The Soulcraft. We dodged a bullet by Trump not picking that Ryan Walter psychopath seal for Department of Education. I was sweating that shit. But it didn't he appoint? I mean, nominate. What's her face? McMahon. Uh, she's no Jewel. She's no whatever either, right? Mr. Spock, isn't that the theme song? Mary Tyler Moore at TJ. What theme song? Oh, my saying. That's funny, Mr. Spock. M. West remember the three. Remember what Hal and Philly and Johnny established about Trump. Thank him and praise him, and he'll follow. Right, that's the little game you got to play with him because he's a fucking child, and you have to play this little game. In order to get him to eat his veggies. You know what I mean? Darkly Yours is here. Darkly Yours says, I need a sex offender bingo card for this coming administration. Sadly, that's true. Uh, Darkly Yours. Thanks for being here, by the way. Darkly Yours. I'm going to scroll on up here to the chat. Marsha says, Trucker John, I'm subscribed on YouTube and follow you on Blue Sky. Thank you, Marsha. Thank you so much. We're one step closer to being as big as Joe Rogan or all those people I mentioned earlier. We're one step closer thanks to folks like you. And I say it kind of, I hope I'm not trivializing it by sort of saying it in a funny way. But I do mean it sincerely. I'm grateful to all you guys getting this up to over 3,500 subscribers. I appreciate it so much. When just a short time ago, not that long ago, I barely had 100, 150. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Right there, somewhere down there. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. M. West says, yeah, Elon owns Donnie like the kid with the football. That's not a government relationship. It's just money. Another thing that I should put on my list, Elon Musk is an asshole, and I hate his guts. I didn't really write it because I'm saving space. M. West says, 4, become aware that heated plastics such as in your Keurig or Mr. Coffee heating tank leaches into your drink, kidneys, and brain. All right, M. West. All right. Mr. Spock, pork protein again tonight, either chicken or pork. I've got a little bit of everything in my fridge right now. I've got some pork, I got chicken, I got beef. I do it all, man. The Soulcraft, Trump feeds on adoration like vampires feed on blood. It fuels him. Terrence Bunt says, well, I'm going to adopt the Ralph Reed dress collection for the next 4 years. Do away with godless casual dress Fridays. My suggestion is have a good pair of running shoes and keep a go bag handy. Butterbum. I don't know. Maybe I should put that on a coffee cup. For the next 4 years, keep a good pair of running shoes and keep a go bag handy. M. West says, play Trey's little game, not to eat his veggies, but to help Ukraine save themselves. Right. I was only being metaphorical. West Webb, Ichabod Deer, I am told that plastic bottles have a special coating to keep the plastic from leaching. So there. And if you believe that, I got a bridge for you in Arizona. Ichabod Deer, West sunlight disinfects some. Okay, we're talking about sunlight, disinfect it. It's all great tips. You guys have lots of great tips and ideas. Oliver Renlow, yum, plastic leeches. West Webb, I'm trying, but too many folks are agreeing with me. M. West, I'll send you a pour-over cone, John. I think I've seen those in the stores. I think I can get one. Think about deer. Plastic is made from crude oil. Absolutely. I know. And that's the thing. I'm always one of the people saying, hey, we need to get off of our addiction to fossil fuels. We need to get off that shit. And then here I am, Mr. Plastic, But there's probably other ways of making plastic. I don't know. Like I know we can recycle, but you can only recycle so much, right? And then eventually, if all you're doing is recycling, you'll have nothing left to recycle because you're never really able to recycle the whole thing, I guess. But anyhow, the point is, yeah, I know it takes it's a fossil fuel deal and or crude oil, which is fossil fuel. So I get it. I get it. So the Soul Craft says, anyone else ditch TYT between their off takes and trolls? I haven't. Yeah, I ditched TYT a few years ago. I used to be kind of a big fan, like probably 10 years ago, like 8, 9, 10 years ago. But they lost me about a few years ago, probably during the 2016 campaign. Dear Saudis bought GE Plastics from GE about 14 years ago. Thanks for that update. The Soulcraft. Since election day, I've practically been breathing fire. Me too. Since election day, I've gone from grief to sadness to depression. Very quickly got out of that and went right into anger, being pissed off. And I'm going to carry that all the way till 2026 and 2028. If we can get a big blue wave in 2026, maybe that'll help lower my anger a little bit. But there's no way that this next 4 years shouldn't have been run by a Democrat, either Harris or Biden. Big Dog says Henry Ford built a car from hemp, or did it run on hemp? I don't know, or both. So anyhow, I'm pretty much caught up with the chat here. I'm going to go ahead and I will talk about Joe Biden. Ladies and gentlemen, now for the serious part of the show. In West, I get you, John. I'm all about getting a campaign going on Ukraine Remembrance Day to use Trump's need for adulation to get him on board for Ukraine. What a great legacy. Oppo. No more coffee plastic. But talking about anger, being upset about this election, the loss how we lost so badly. Even though in the popular vote, Trump barely squeaked by in the popular vote. Zola says, if anything, Hal is too nice to jink. I never know how to say his fucking name either. I think they say jink, like a J. Somehow that C became a J. Anyhow, the guy's an asshole. I think he deserves to get a little bit of I can make fun of his name a little bit. But anyhow, so we're really upset. I know we all are upset in some way about this election. All of us who are Democrats, all of us who have any type of, common sense, we know that anyone would be better than Trump. Anyone. And that Trump was such a complete and utter failure in his first term, and he is such a complete and utter failure just as a human being. Like it says over here, he's a felon. He's a rapist. He's a fraudster. He's a grifter. He's a cheater. There's not one redeeming quality in that man. Not one. I'm yet to find a redeeming quality in Donald Trump. Almost everyone, it seems like, even serial killers, you could probably find at least one redeeming quality. I have not found a redeeming quality in Donald Trump. So everyone knows, we all know, Kamala Harris would have been infinitely better than Donald Trump as president. Infinitely better. And she came up just a bit short. If she'd had 1 more month or 2 more months to campaign, maybe would that have been enough to get her over the edge, over the hump. I don't know. But this is not Joe Biden's fault. I've heard other commentators on the left really take out their anger on Joe Biden. I don't believe this was Joe Biden's fault. I think your anger is misplaced. If you're putting all the blame on Joe Biden and you want to trash Joe Biden, I think your anger is misplaced. Because when he decided to run for re-election at the beginning of this campaign, I don't remember anyone saying, "Oh no, don't do it, Joe, don't do it. You said you were only going to be a one-term president." I don't remember anyone saying that. I remember everyone going, "Yeah, we're on board with it," because Joe Biden was having a great presidency. People were comparing him to FDR. Go back 2 years ago. People were comparing him to FDR. And I will go on record right here to say that Joe Biden, I believe, has been the most effective president of getting good legislation through, good progressive, good solid democratic, liberal democratic legislation through in my lifetime. And I was born in 1960. So that's even Kennedy and Johnson, who were very effective. Bill Clinton, very effective. Barack Obama, very effective. As much as people like to reconstruct history, reinvent history about Obama, and they like the people on the left, they like to bash Obama because he wasn't lefty enough for them. He wasn't progressive enough for them. Even though he had the uphill battle of going against Mitch McConnell and Republican obstructionism. He lost the Senate in 2010. He lost the Congress. I'll be right back. Another reason I need to move. There was a bug crawling up the wall, and another reason for you guys to be mad at me for not using home remedies. I use Raid. There's a bug. I'm gonna kill the motherfucking bug. I need to move out of this apartment because it's infested with bugs. Anyhow, where was I at? About Biden. He was the most effective president I've seen in my lifetime. More than Obama, more than Clinton, more than Kennedy, more than Johnson. In my opinion. And a lot of people were praising Biden for getting so much done and being able to work in a bipartisan way. He had to get things done, and because there were Republicans had the House. So people weren't saying, "No, Joe, no," when he decided to run. It wasn't until that debate where he looked really bad. He looked old and he looked lost. His voice was very shaky and soft. The guy apparently had gotten COVID. And I don't think he knew it at that time. He wouldn't have been out there. But he was sick. He knew that he was sick. He'd been campaigning and he'd come down with, I think they thought it was a cold or whatever. Or maybe he got the COVID after that. I don't know. But he did get COVID. And he looked really bad. And I'll be the first to admit, I remember watching it and talking to Jolie online here, in the messages saying, we both said, "This does not look good," because we were watching it and we are like, "I know this doesn't look good." I remember saying that it didn't look good. And then the next day we see him out in, I think it was South Carolina, and it was like old Joe was back, and he looked strong and he sounded good and fiery, and I was like, "Yeah, that's the Joe we need. We need more of that, Joe, please." But it wasn't until that debate that then after that it was Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff. They were saying stuff like he should step down or suggesting that, or maybe in not so many words, but they were definitely suggesting it. And then there was George Clooney, and he was saying, he was calling for him to step down and all this bullshit. And it got to the point where Joe Biden was losing big donor support. So that's when he stepped down, because if he was losing his donors, he was pressured into doing that. So if you're going to be mad at anyone, don't reinvent history and try to make it like Biden was a bad president. He's been, I think, the greatest president in my lifetime. and he's got more done in 3.5 years than a lot of presidents get done in 8. And he's created more jobs than all presidents combined in history of the United States. He's gotten us out of a post-pandemic economy where everyone else in the world would give their fucking hind leg to have our economy. And so now people want to bash him and complain about him and cry about him and blame him. We don't know if who would have won if Biden stayed in. I'm pretty sure Biden would have. If Biden could have kept his shit together and not had anything more like that debate where he looked like at that debate, then he would have won. But we don't know. Who knows? But who would have won? But the fact of the matter is, he was pressured out. So you're going to be mad. Be mad at Nancy Pelosi. Be mad at Adam Schiff. Be mad at George Clooney. The clown, I call him. I call him the clown. Those are the people you should be directing your wrath at, not at Joe Biden. Joe Biden was a great president, and he was forced out. M. West says blaming is unhelpful. There are people that are blaming Joe Biden. Hey, look, this goes beyond making mistakes. People are doing, they're saying Kamala should have done this, she should have done that. Overall, she ran a great campaign. I believe she ran probably one of the best campaigns I've ever seen. Someone stuffed 3 months. They stuffed a year of campaigning into 3 months. And yeah, are there mistakes? Yeah, there's always going to be mistakes. She's only human, and the people running the campaigns and her advisors, they're only human. There may have been a mistake here or there. You look back, hindsight's always 2020. Maybe she should have said this. Maybe she should have gone there. Maybe they should have attacked this type of thing or whatever. But if you look at the Trump campaign, it was a shit show, and he still won. So blaming the campaign and the mistakes, it's beyond that. It's like the fix was in. And by the fix is in, I don't even know what the fix is. I know the mainstream media plays a huge, huge part in this. Because they sane-wash Trump. They let him get away. They have the double standard. Where Kamala Harris or Joe Biden, any Democrat, they're under such scrutiny, they can't flub one word without being, in Joe Biden's case, being accused of being senile and in full dementia. And in Kamala Harris's case, if she flubbed a line or something, it would be, look at her, she's crazy. And they would make videos that were all out of context of her. It'd be her laugh again with the laugh. But meanwhile, Donald Trump can meander on in his speeches and talk about electrocution and sharks. He can act like he's giving a blowjob to the microphone. He can have weird ass makeup where you can see he's all orange and sort of this sometimes orangey brown shit, and then you can see the line where they didn't cover all the makeup, and you see his white pasty skin underneath. Can you imagine if Kamala Harris didn't do her makeup right one day, even just a little bit off, how they would fucking criticize her? Do you see the double standard? There's a double standard that the mainstream media, not even the right, I'm not even talking about the right-wing media. I'm not talking about the Fox News and Newsmax and all that shit. I'm talking about the mainstream media. That's supposed to be mainstream. It's supposed to be somewhat impartial. It's supposed to be some sort of objective reporting. But they don't. They clearly play favorites. And that, let's put some blame on them. You don't put the blame on Joe Biden. You put the blame on them. On the mainstream media, these big media outlets that are owned by billionaires and billionaires that don't want their taxes to be raised. So they support, whether it's overtly or covertly, they support Republicans and they will support Donald Trump. No matter how evil and despicable and stupid he is and moronic he is, they will support him because they don't want their fucking taxes to go up. Because God forbid that a billionaire should have to pay an extra little bit of money in taxes. So that's what it comes down to. There's no big mystery. That's what it is. It's the rich people that don't want to pay taxes. So they support the Republicans, and they will support no matter who that Republican is. And we've seen that. Donald Trump is proof of that. No matter how despicable, how evil, how awful, how criminal, they will support that person if that means their taxes are going to get lowered. That's all it comes down to. So all this shit about trans women in bathrooms and, all this other shit, invasion of the border, that's all fucking horse shit. They don't give a shit about any of that. They just know that they can create this issue. They can create, that sort of emotional hot button issue amongst certain people in this country, and that's how they get their votes. That's how they get their support. They have to do that because there would not be enough billionaires to vote to get anything that they wanted. They have to have the masses, and to get the masses behind them, they have to create these narratives. They have to create these controversies that don't really exist. Do we have some issues? Do we have problems at the border we need to address? Yes. Is it a full-on invasion? No. There are ways of addressing these things without sensationalizing them and scaring people to the point that they are willing to vote for a fucking felon and a rapist, as my signage here attests to. So please stop bashing Joe Biden, my fellow liberals, my fellow progressives. I know you're angry. I know we're angry. We're upset. But going after Biden, that's a mistake. Diane Russell's here. Good to see Diane. Thanks for being here. I just saw that. I was ignoring the chat. When I go off on my little tangents, I will ignore the chat. So sorry about that. We got Democracy Meow Meow. Democracy Meow is here. Good to see you. Democracy Meow. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, Diane Russell's here. Good to see Diane. Left Wing Gorilla says 99% of the population is not trans. The more everyone talks about it is great for Republicans. It's a distraction. Right? Left Wing Gorilla? Those things are distractions. It's all meant to distract us from the real reason that the Republican Party even exists to this day, in my lifetime, is to lower taxes on the rich and to strip away pesky regulations like environmental regulations, worker safety regulations. Those are pesky. Those might lower one's profit by 1% or something. I don't know. So that's really the only reason the Republican Party is in existence, is to work for the ultra rich, the top 1%, the top 1/10 of 1%. That's their only reason for existence. And all this other shit, it's a distraction to distract us from that. And it's meant to, recruit people who get worked up about those subjects. Because a lot of times we've seen, if you just talk about the issue and you don't attach a party to it or a president's name to it or whatever, things about like the Affordable Care Act is, for instance. If you talk about those things and you say, do you like the fact that the pre-existing condition thing has been done away with, and people are like, yeah, like 90% of people are like, yeah, But then once they find out that's a part of Obamacare, they're like, oh, fuck that shit. So let's not be distracted. And let's not be divided. That's another thing, divide and conquer. If we start bashing Biden and fight amongst ourselves, then that's playing into their hand also. It's, it, they want us to fight amongst ourselves. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. We got to move on, and we really got to just start thinking about 2026. That's got to be our main focus. 2026, and do whatever we can. I know we're all afraid there might not even be elections. I think there will be, but I'm not so naive to not think that the Republicans are going to do everything that they can to restrict voting, to slow down the process, make it hard. It's going to be Jim Crow in some places. I mean, I have no doubt they're going to do everything they can, but we cannot give up. We cannot let that stop us. We cannot let it stop us, and we need to come back strong in 2026. We cannot just sit here and blame Biden or blame Kamala Harris or blame this and blame that. We cannot fight amongst ourselves. That's wasted energy. We cannot waste this energy. Let's get the energy towards 2026. That's where we need to go. Jolie says, listening to Dude and Right Plight, nearly all the Trump supporters that called in said it's the price of gas and groceries. They are going to be unpleasantly surprised. Well, I've been hearing, even from like House Sparks and stuff, that there is going to be a big oil glut in America, and that gas prices might drop, or that it's kind of baked in that oil prices will drop, therefore gas prices will drop. And if that's true, then of course, we could probably just thank Biden for that, but of course Trump will get all the credit for that. And as far as groceries, though, if we don't have any farm workers to pick our crops and harvest our crops and all that kind of stuff, we could run into food shortages, and of course that will make prices go up. And if there's anything that's imported, any food, that will go up. But the thing about gas, I don't know. I've heard not only Hal, but I've heard other people say that there's going to be a gas glut or oil glut or whatever it is, a glut, one of those gluts, and that there's going to be so much oil in reserves that it'll bring the price down, but by a lot. So of course they'll all say, "See, Trump. We were right to vote for Trump because look, our gas prices are going down." West Webb says, agreed, Ichabod Deer is such a great debater, but didn't go on the shows with the audience she needed most. She went on every show, I think. If we're talking about Harris, I'm kind of mid-thread, so if I'm wrong, if you're talking about Harris, I think she went on just about every show you could go on except Joe Rogan. And that might have been the one that she should have gone on. Maybe she should have skipped The View or whatever. Maybe she should have skipped maybe even Howard Stern, which I think was a good one, but but that's the thing. That's in retrospect. Hindsight's 2020. Like I said, we need to move forward and just put all of our energy into 2026. Hey, FreeBit28 is here. Trucker John is talking real sense tonight, folks. Thank you very much. For once. Right? For once, I'm talking some sense. It took a while. It took me about an hour and a half of, talking about K cups and shit. But, eventually I'll get there. Ichabod Deer, I have been doing DNC phone banks since the 1980s. That's awesome, Ichabod. The Soulcraft says Newsom is a savage debater. Like him or not, he'll go on Fox and own them. I love Gavin Newsom. I love Pete Buttigieg. They both shred. They shred those motherfuckers. I'm worried about Buttigieg because one, if we're not going to vote a black woman into presidency, I'm not sure if America is going to vote a gay man in. Horrible thing to say, I know, but at me, his house says. I mean, they wouldn't vote for Hillary, and I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that she's a woman, not just the fact that there's a lot of other things too, but I think the fact that she's a woman had a big part of that. And I think with Kamala Harris, again, the misogyny. So is the United States of America, are they ready to elect a gay man? I think Pete Buttigieg is a great guy. I would vote for him if he was the general. He won the general election and he was the nominee. I would vote for him, of course. But it's not about me. It's about the margins. It's about those undecided. I just made up a new word. That's the undecided independents. They're undecided. Hey, write that. I'm going to write that one down. The undecided. I'm going to put that on a coffee cup. Undecided. How do you spell that? N-I-N, maybe D-E-C-I-D-E-D. Undecided. Okay, I love that. This is why I love myself so much, because I'm fucking awesome. But anyhow, okay, most of us in the Democratic Party, registered Democrats, if Pete Buttigieg was the nominee, most of us are going to vote for him, right? We have no problem that he's gay, none whatsoever, and we would be judging him by his policies and by the things that he's done, politically and stuff like that. Then the Republicans, most of them, they're going to vote for their Republican nominee, most of them, right? And then so what it always comes down to is the undecided, the unaffiliated, or the people that really aren't in a party, right? And I think statistically, year in and year out, most of those independents, I think they usually lean Democratic, but not always, and not all of them. So then it comes down to that. What are the undecideds, or what are the independents going to do? Would they vote for a gay man? Would they vote for a woman? But actually, the voting for a woman part, there's a lot of Democrats, I think, unfortunately, that maybe just didn't show up. They didn't vote for Trump, but maybe they didn't show up because they just couldn't vote for a woman. That might be the case too. Maybe a gay man has a better chance than a woman. I don't know. But the main thing is, it's kind of a sad state of affairs when being gay or being a woman is an obstacle to being elected. That should not be the deciding factor. The deciding factor should be your policies. Your policy positions. What are you going to do? What are you about? What do you believe in? It shouldn't be your sexual orientation, and it shouldn't be your gender, and it shouldn't be the color of your skin. Let's see. Ichabod says phone banks are now a waste of time. No one picks up the phone. And anyone that does, if you're just calling landlines, who has landlines? I think it's maybe old Republicans. And if you're calling cell phones, no one answers the cell phone. If I see something that isn't a familiar number, I don't answer it. So yeah, you're right, Ichabod. Diane Russell says, hi, Jose. I think Vance will do a Amendment 25 and have him declared mentally incompetent. We'll see about that. I don't know. DB Accuracy Mail. I'm scrolled up here, so I'm skipping a lot of your guys' posts. Please don't ever take that personal. It's just I have to scroll along, otherwise I'll be 2 hours behind. And MJ Daniel says going on Rogan would have done nothing. Democracy Meow says, yes, it is wasted energy to fight amongst ourselves, but give 2024 and right now a chance because, excuse me, if we fight this, we can win. Couldn't resist. The election was rigged and hand recounts would likely prove it. To my knowledge, they've been doing recounts all along. I mean, I think they've been doing recounts. I'm shooting another bug. I don't know if it's the same bug I shot before, who survived the last onslaught of raid. But I just sprayed him good. Anyhow, but I'm all for recounts, investigations. I'm just not putting a lot of hope in that and faith in that. But I am absolutely for all of that. And I do think that it definitely was rigged in the sense of disinformation campaigns from Russia, once again, probably other countries. The bomb threats, I think, is a big thing. And I think the Republican voter purges is a big thing. I know we've had people in this chat talk about millions of people that were taken off voting rolls. That's a big issue. Like I said, I don't know how many of those were, people that moved or died, but how many of them were actual legitimate voters that should have been able to vote but weren't because they were taken off the voter rolls. And most of that is done in red states, red districts and things. So I definitely think, like I said, this doesn't pass the smell test. It just doesn't, and it just doesn't make sense that thing called Donald Trump would win an election. It just does not make sense that he would become president of the United States for a second time. We all saw what a shit show and what an awful president he was the first time. Why in God's green earth would anyone cast a vote for him a second time? That's what I don't get. So yeah, it doesn't pass the smell test. Something's wrong, something's hinky, but I don't know what it is. So I'm all for, if we can get investigations in and we can get recounts in and we can get all this in, but I don't have much faith in that changing the result, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm there with you. Let's support that. Let's support the recalls and whatever we can do. MJ Daniel, gay man, hell not. This country would not. Maybe someday though. I mean, I'm not going to say forever. I mean, who knows where we'll be in 50 years from now. I'll be dead. A lot of us in this chat will be dead. But who knows? In 50 years from now, maybe we will be. I mean, even the generations now that have come up. I mean, it seems like most of the kids, they don't care if someone's gay. They don't give a rat's ass about that. So future generations, that will not be an issue. Being gay will not be an issue. Being black, the woman thing is going to stick around a lot longer than the gay thing, I think. And even the color thing. There's something about some people, but that eventually will go away too. It's just in the meantime, we're stuck with the present. AM says, hello, Chugga John. Hello, AM. Good to see you. Not sure if I've seen you before, so thank you so much for being here. I hope you like, subscribe, and share, and keep coming back to the show. Here's my schedule. We're here every Tuesday, Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, Thursdays at 3 p.m. That is the House Parks pre-show, because someone earlier in the chat was saying about, I just did my Hangout, House Parks Hangout. And yeah, I do that every Thursday, 3 p.m. We do a pre-show hangout. And then Saturdays, we do an after-show hangout. And that's what this is, House Parks after-show hangout. But watching House Parks is not a prerequisite. Anyone can come in. This is the internet, baby. This is the internet where everyone can pop in at any time. Diane Russell says, Pete would make a great president. I think so. I mean, he doesn't have much experience. He was the mayor, right, of a small town. But now he's been doing a great job as the Department of was it Transportation, the Transpo? Is he a Transpo guy? And of course, we've seen him. I think his decorum is great. I think his ability to go on into hostile studios or whatever, like the Fox News places that he goes into, and he's able to shut them down, and he doesn't let them phase him one bit. He doesn't fall. He doesn't take the bait. He doesn't fall into their traps, and he pretty much just makes the Fox News host look like an idiot. So yeah, I think he would. I have no problems with Pete Buttigieg. Um, the Soul Crest says, "Yeah, it's literally scary, Diane. I had a dream that I was that I was hiding Dreamer friends in my attic and Frank style. Wow." And yeah, what's going to happen then? There's a lot. We talk about buyer's remorse. There's a lot of that going on. But hey, man, it's too late. I mean, unless these recounts come through that we were talking about earlier, I mean, it's too late, baby. It's too late. But did we really try to make it? Did we? Unfortunately, the unfortunate thing is, okay, sometimes people have to find out the hard way. But when you're talking about the president of the United States and you're talking about losing Congress, is that we all are going to be at the brunt of this mistake. We're all going to feel it. Now, some will feel it more than others, and I really hope that the ones that voted for Trump will feel it more. But people fucked around. They're going to find out. The sad thing, the unfortunate thing, is that even those of us that didn't vote for Trump, we're going to get some of that too. Robert Perez says, "I blame the lazy fucks who didn't bother to mail in their ballots and vote. Fuck them." Yeah, like I said, I didn't think Kamala Harris would get fewer votes than Joe Biden got. And if things stayed the way 2020 was, she would have won. And I can't imagine anyone who voted for Biden why they would not vote for Kamala Harris. That doesn't make sense. I thought Trump would probably be about the same numbers that he got last time. I think he did get a few more this time, but not that much. He got a few more million votes this time than he did last time. The thing that is glaring, when you look at the numbers, Kamala Harris did not get the votes that Biden got. So to me, that means that a lot of people that voted for Biden in 2020, they just didn't vote. It's not that some of them may have voted for Stein. Some of them, I can't imagine them voting for Trump, but maybe there was a few. But for the most part, they just stayed home. And like Robert says, fuck them. They're assholes. They're stupid. And I hope those folks get the brunt of whatever shit we're going to see in the upcoming shit show of the Trump administration coming up here. It's going to be a shit show, and it's going to be a horror show, no doubt about it. I'm just looking at the chat a little bit here. I'm kind of mid-thread in a lot of your conversations because I've been skipping down, so I don't. It doesn't make sense for me to kind of jump in the middle of something, and I don't know what you guys are talking about. Diane Russell says, "Hi, Robert Perez. I remember there were millions who couldn't vote due to purging and ballot, and that's what I was touching on that too. About maybe some of those were due to the purging. So that we need to find out more about that too." Ichabod Deer, we call all lines cell and land. Yeah, I figured. Like I said, if it's a cell, if you're calling a landline, almost no one, I think, no one that's probably younger than even a millennial don't have landlines. Almost everyone has cell phones, and you do call cell phones, but you have caller ID. You have my phone has a thing where it just automatically it'll show me like spam calls, and it automatically doesn't take the call. It'll say I remember seeing someone that says suspicious campaign ad or something like that, or campaign call, and it just automatically like didn't take the call for me. I would just see that notice later. So if you've got a cell phone, you're probably not taking those calls either. So who do we get on these polls? There's a bunch of old people who think Trump is great because they watch Fox News all day. So I think we need to. That's why the polling is all fucked up, you know. Dana Darden is here. Hey, Dana. Dana says, "Hello, my sane friends. He's not in yet. I gotta believe he won't be sworn in." Hey, Dana. Thanks for being here. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us in the driver's lounge. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, my I really haven't thought a whole lot about that, but my feeling is that he is going to be sworn in. He is going to be the president. He's going to take the office. But I've been saying all along that something doesn't seem right. This does not pass the smell test. This election, and I've just enumerated, and people in the chat have been talking about a lot of things, the purging and all that stuff. There's lots of things. Hinky, I guess hinky, not hanky, no, but hinky. Um, and but like I said, the fix is in, but the fix is things like dark money. Thank you, Citizens United. That has a lot to do with this. Dark money, big super PACs. Elon Musk donated what was it, $200 million or some horseshit to super PACs. Um, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like the machines were rigged or whatever. But there's something's not right. Something's not right. Because anyone in their right mind who had at least some of the facts, some of the knowledge of what a horrible, horrible, horrible person Donald Trump is, I cannot see them voting for him. Other than if you're just, like I said, you're just a diehard Republican and all you care about is lowering taxes on the rich and stripping away environmental regulations and work regulations, labor regulations. Della Da Vinci says PA is recounting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard that. Thank you, by the way, Della Da Vinci, for being here. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Hope you hit that like, subscribe, and share. That share button's always fun because you can hit it and then you can share it to your social medias. You can share it to your friends. And I always say the more the merrier. That's what I always say. I just scrolled up in the chat here a little bit. Stephanie B2's here. Hey, Stephanie, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Stephanie says Fox News brainwashed them. Absolutely. I agree with that. West Webb, I still have my Christmas tree in the corner window of a spare bedroom. Leave it up all year. I just don't light it. Okay, good for you. Dana Darden, no way he won. Legitimately, no fucking way. Della Da Vinci says, ironic, low information voters call for misinformation. I'm scrolling up, so if I pass up your if I don't read every single post here, don't take it personally. AM says, this is why we have to vote in all elections. Otherwise, you have to register. I do agree that they called it too fast, not giving up. Someone will spill the truth. Stephen Sayers is here. Stephen says, would you win if the richest man on earth was your buddy? Well, it does certainly appear as though Elon Musk has bought him a president. The Soulcraft says, I kind of believe that's why Trump won't let Elon out of his sight. Paranoid, he'll spill the beans. Going to spill the beans. Sniffer Gnome says, West Webb, provisional ballots are a joke if you don't do the follow-up. Greg Pallas says they are not counted if you don't call your registrar and ask them to be counted. Ichabod Deer, I'm just happy the Bills handed the Chiefs their first loss of the season. Yeah, I saw that. I was watching that game. Marcia says, Kimchi, we are saying it before the elections too. I'm skipping down, folks. I'm skipping a lot of your chats. Like I said, don't take it personally. Nick Rich is here, says Blue Sky is not owned by a single entity. By the way, thank you everyone who has followed me over on Blue Sky. You can find me at Trucker John 3. I guess it's at Trucker John 3, etc., etc., etc. Last time I checked, I'm up over 600 followers. Thanks in large part to Fancy, who's been helping me out, getting the word out. And thanks to all of you that have gone there and have followed me. And if you're on Blue Sky, look me up at Trucker John 3 and give me a follow. You know, I like it when you follow me. Democracy Meow says that Jolie, it's mostly smart ass t-shirts and stuff. I need to add more cat ladies and cat daddies and dog ladies and daddy merch. All right, got the merch going there. Marsha, racist, bigots, and misogynists kept Kamala Harris from winning. Yep, I agree. I agree. Darkly Yours, what was it, like 15 million fewer voters or something? I think so, Darkly Yours. Which is, unfortunate. Kim She says, Repuke said the computer codes. Democracy Meow, yes, but they also let regular citizens just go through directories and report thousands of dims just for being dim. Yeah, that was in Georgia, right? So that when they showed up to vote, they couldn't, or their mail was rejected. I think that was Georgia, right? Maybe other states too. I don't know. In West, they are doing recounts, and Kamala is gaining by an average of 35,000 votes per day. I really think Joe should call for a revote in all states where bomb threats closed and executed or evacuated the polls. If he can do that, if he's legally able to do that, yeah, I'm all for it. Brenda Triplett's here. Brenda says 72 ballots with only one vote for President Oli. Is that the bullet ballots people were talking about before? Democracy Meow says one person did 20,000 objections, I think, just reported voters as suspicious just because they weren't registered Republicans. Yeah, that's hideous. And that's what they do. That's what the Republicans do. They do this fucking shit. They can't win, legitimately in most cases. That's why they gerrymander the fuck out of those, those House districts. And that's why they resort to, all of this fucking obstruction, all this purging, and all this shit. They cannot win legitimately. Because most reasonable people say, yeah, I think it's okay. I think a woman should have the right to choose, make her own bodily reproductive choices. Most people are on board with that. Things like that. Most people say, yeah, I think we should have some sensible gun safety laws. I think maybe we should have universal background checks. Most people say that. And that's all people across the board. So the Republicans, they have to resort to all kinds of bullshit in order to win. In West, the recount has put Umtre below 50%. Yeah, he's been under 50% for a few days now. So, he couldn't even get the majority. This was not a mandate. That's another thing we need to keep repeating. When we go to Thanksgiving dinner, and if any of your family, they are maggots or they're Republicans, and they want to say how this was a mandate, just remind them, no, he didn't even get 50% of the popular vote. That is not a mandate. And the overall margin is just going to be a couple 100,000 or maybe even less. This is one of the smallest margins of victory in presidential history. Democracy Meow says the bullet ballots are what made sure that whatever amount he needed to win were added at the end. Musk did that. They had access to machines, voter records. If that's true, then that needs to be addressed. Dali Da Vinci says women not voting for women is fucked up. Not Trumpers either. We found out there's a lot of women who are just total The pro-life movement, they've been brainwashed too. They've grown up in these right-wing evangelical churches that preach politics from the pulpit, and they've been fed this fucking horse shit about abortion killing babies, since they were babies. And that those are the ones, that's my cousin. Those are the ones that vote for Trump. These are the women that vote for Trump. They've been raised in right-wing evangelical churches, and they've been taught ever since they can remember that abortion is killing babies, even though it's not. It's a lump of cells, zygotes. These are not babies. These are not cute little adorable little toddlers. Okay? It's a lump of some cells. There's the link, Jolie. Thank you. My Blue Sky link over there. So thanks for that. If you guys want to go there and give me some follows, that'd be awesome. M. West says a national emergency called by Biden because of the effects of the Russian attack on the polls on election day. I can't let it go. Hey, if he can do that, I say do it. I don't know if he can though. Democracy Meow says Alabama voters said only Harris versus Trump had Dem choice. The rest left off by any Dem candidates. They had to write them in. I see potential to throw out ballots for having extra marks on them. Shaking my fucking head. It's like the hanging chads all over again in a way, right? Kimchi, a concession is not legally binding. Yeah, that has nothing to do with anything. M. West says she wouldn't have won because of the polling day evacuation. Demi Actually says that too. There were lots of bomb threats and only in Dem areas. And where did those threats come from? They traced it back to fucking Russia. Yes, it's Russia, Russia, Russia. So, and every time Trump and one of his surrogates, want to say they say Russia, 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 like in a mocking kind of way. Well, yeah, fucking Russia, Russia, Russia plays a big part in this of interfering in our elections. They are interfering. We need to stop and block this goddamn interference. Diane Russell says, hi, Narayan L. Sad thing is, once Trump starts enforcing the Comstock Act, those laws will be moot. Kevin64 is here. Hey, Kevin says, that's why I hate religion. Democracy Meow. Then QAnon took over and used their religious priming to take it to crazy, dark fairy tale levels of bullshit. David Windler's here. Hey, Dave, good to see you. Dave says, United Snakes of America. The Slowcraft says, enforce the Johnson Act. Of course, it'll never happen under a Trump-led IRS. Yeah, the thing about taking away their tax-exempt status. West Webb, Rockford just opened its second abortion clinic. Yay for Rockford. They'll probably be closed down in 3 months. Marcia says, don't get me started on a religion. I do my thing, you do yours, and keep it to yourself. Exactly. West Webb, abortion is becoming an industry in Illinois. Good. They should start giving free airfare to all the people who live in fucking shithole places like Florida and Texas and Alabama and Mississippi or wherever. They should start giving fucking free airfare, free hotels to all the women who need abortions and who need fucking even any type of reproductive health care. And if any of those states try to come after them, then fucking Metzger, what the fuck is your governor's name? Can use some of his billions of dollars to back them up in court. Back them up with their legal fees. Offer them asylum to Illinois. Fuck this shit, man. Democracy Meow says you got your total up a lot yesterday. Yeah, it did. And thanks to Fancy, and thanks to all of you who go on and click those links, and hit that follow button. The Soulcraft says they call Tulsi our girl on their RTV. Oh, on Russian TV. Yeah, and she's on the TSA list for of suspicious activity. She's not actually on a no-fly list, I don't think, but she's on this. I just saw something today where she's on this sort of like suspicious travel activity, and this is the guy. This is the gal that Trump is going to put up for what is she being put up for? I forget now. DNI or whatever. Yeah, DNI, right? Uh, but no matter who Trump puts up, we're not going to like him. Like I said in the last show, all we can hope for is getting the less smelly turd. Okay, so we went from Matt Gates. I guess it's Gates. I always think it's Gates, but okay, Matt Gates. We went from him being AG to Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi is a horrible person. She has shown that she will take money and she will do whatever you want if you give her enough money. She's almost like a whore, I would say. Very similar to a whore, except at least whores are, uh, I give them a little more respect. It's kind of an insult to whores to call Pam Bondi a whore. But in any case, but I would say between her and Matt Getz, she's the less smelly turd. I should write that down too. Pam Bondi is the less smelling turd. Um, Anyhow, 72 says he wants to make those freedom cities without regulations. They wouldn't even get past installing the gas lines in the whole place. Is going to blow. No electricity regulations of gas. Okay, I'm mid-thread, so I'm not exactly sure where we're going on that. That's what happens when I jump in mid-thread to a conversation. Ichabod Deer, not to be a pig, but I saw a close-up of Tulsi's face, and wow, she does cake on the makeup. Yeah, because I mean, this is look, I'm no beauty, but I have seen, and I think she's very pretty, but I have seen pictures where maybe she didn't have quite so much makeup, and you can see she has a lot of uh, what do you call it, pock marks, or a lot of maybe it was from zits, maybe old acne scars or something. I've seen it where she, like, this is years ago. Maybe she didn't pancake as much makeup on, and you could see like the scarring. I don't think it was from military or anything like that. It's kind of like acne scars or something. Maybe I don't know. I'm just speculating. But I still thought she was pretty. I've always thought that she was very pretty, even with the acne scars. And so now I guess maybe she's got a makeup person, and they're just caking that on to cover those up. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, she she's proven herself to be pretty despicable just you know by her actions. So you and me, Ichabod, we're probably both going to get accused of being pigs. So strength in numbers, brother. We'll be pigs together. 72, Dan Russell, do you have rain now? We have it off and on here right now in Central California. M. West says, remember what Obama used to say? Make me do it. He means call for it. Biden has been given carte blanche while sitting president to do whatever is an official act. Yeah, maybe we should put that Supreme Court justice ruling. Now would maybe be the time to put that to test, I guess, right? M. West says, remember that. I just read that. I just read it, man. I just read it. Demi XML, I always want to take that to a cat box analogy. M. West, it was called far too early as well. Marsha says Tulsi has the S on her air travels. S, I don't know what that means. 72, that's great, Ichabod. MJ McCall is here, says, does Trump know anyone who isn't a horrible person? I don't think so. They're all horrible. aren't they? The company he keeps, they're all shitbags. Democracy Meow says not like a whore is a whore. Yeah, they're all whores. Kevin 64 lot lizard. A lot lizard is a very specific type of whore that hang out in parking lots. Hence the name lot lizard. In other words, I've heard people call just all prostitutes in general lot lizards, and that's not correct. Lot lizards are specific to hanging out in parking lots and mostly truck parking lots, big truck, commercial 18-wheeler type. But those are the lot lizards. Your typical whore on the strip is not a lot lizard per se. I mean, there are some truck stops; they might wander over there, but I'm nitpicky. I'm being nitpicky about it. Server Norma says, here's a little Los Angeles area report. It's been gray all day, but I've been getting sprinkles for a couple hours. So that means if it's going to be raining in LA, then we'll probably be getting some rain up here in a couple days. Maybe. Marshall, I expect Tulsi to go blonde soon. Ichabod Deer, I think Christy Nome and Megan Kelly go to the same plastic surgeon. And what about Megan Kelly? What a fucking piece of work she is. I mean, talk about being a sort of a disgrace to your gender. And after the way Trump treated her back in like the 2016 campaign and said about her, and now she is totally on board with Trump and MAGA. What a fucking talk about whores. I guess today now we're going down the whore analogy here. Talk about whores. Talk about your whore. And again, I'm it's no disrespect to the whores. Comparing Megan Kelly to a whore, she's a fucking whore. Oh no, you guys. How long was that? How long was that? I didn't mute myself. Ah. Can you guys hear me now? Let me see. Let me take this out. Okay. This is what happens when I go 2.5 hours. I guess my mic will only go to about 2.5 hours. Can you guys hear me now? Um, if you guys can hear me, let me know. I got a thumbs up. It's probably a blessing in disguise that I got muted because I might have got sued. I was challenging Matt Getz to take me to court because I was accusing him of being a rapist. I don't know how much of that got through. I was trying to make the point that because I was hearing people on the left, on the right and the left that are describing Matt Getz as being guilty of having sex with underage women. And I was making the point that those aren't women, those are girls. And you don't have sex with a girl if you're a 39-year-old man, you're raping a girl because that's not consent. There's no consent. You can't have consent when you're raping a girl. It's not sex, it's rape. So I went out and I said, Matt Getz, you are a rapist. You are raping girls. And I said, if you don't like that, Matt Getz, and I'm not even going to say alleged. And if you want to sue me, you can sue me. And that's not what I was saying. Come at me, bro. Come at me. And I will make this, if you want to take me to court, I will make this the biggest, loudest court proceeding that you've ever seen in the history of court proceedings to make sure that everyone in the world knows that you, Matt Gaetz, rape high school girls. That was what I was saying. And hopefully you can hear it now. Gosh, I guess this happened last time. At about 2.5 hours, the mic goes out. So I'm gonna have to remember that's probably why I should have got the 2-pack because then I could have when the one goes out, I can just plug in the next one, right? Maybe I'll go back to Temu. I bought this for like $3.76. So maybe I'll buy. I think the 2-pack was $6 something. So anyhow. Hopefully I'm back, right? I am back. I'm still seeing all the no sounds. See, that's the thing. When I'm behind in the chat, I don't see all your no sounds until I like scroll back up, down to it. And I can kind of see the chat on my phone. And I did see all these emojis. I just thought everyone was like, "Yeah, Trucker John's on fire." Trucker John, yeah. I'm thinking it's like, yeah. They're like going, "Yeah, John, Matt Getz is a rapist." I couldn't exactly make out the emojis. I just saw a bunch of emojis, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm hitting the good chord there. Brendan Triplet, I'm not good at lip reading. Robert Rez, he's ranting about something and he's spilling his guts out right now, but nobody can hear him. That was exactly it, Robert. That was exactly it. Tulsi shut him down. Someone says here, Oliver, he's revealing the inside information on how the election was stolen. Yeah, it was all there. It was all there. Ichabod said 10 minutes. Diane Russell, the phone is right next to me. I'm using my phone to do the show from. I'm doing the live stream from my phone, from my iPhone. So yeah. Hopefully Soulcraft, the energy looked great. Surfer Gnome, do an instant replay of the missing dialogue. I guess I am back on, right? You guys can hear me now, right? Marcia says, thank you, Joker John. I have to recharge the ancient phone again. I have to recharge my ancient... Well, it's not ancient. Like I said, I should have bought the 2-pack. I bought this one microphone just as an experiment to see if it was any good. And I think it's pretty good. Like, you might only hear me out of one side of your speakers or whatever, but for $3.76, here, I'll plug it back in. Who knows, we might go long enough where I could actually use it again during this show. But we'll be wrapping this up pretty soon, folks. Carolyn Phelps, you can go back and read it all later, and I am quite sure you'll be entertained. Yeah, I guess, do they do a transcript? And I'm not sure if there would be a transcript, but anyhow. Unless your mic stamina is wanting. Ichabod Deer, regardless of what party runs the federal government, our enemies always want, at their core, USA chaos. They know constantly fiddling with our elections will mean nothing gets done. Yeah, M was sex with infested with reportage. Yeah, Matt gets here, and then I keep talking into this my little makeshift mic stand here, and there's no mic on it. But I keep leaning into it like I'm talking to a microphone. Actually, I should lean this way because now the mic is over here on the phone. But yeah, so that's what I was doing. Diane says, oh, so that's why we couldn't call you to let you know. Yeah, because the calls really don't come in when I have the phone on. I mean, when I have the live stream going from it. So the next thing on my list, was Ukraine. Okay, so I was going to talk a little bit about Ukraine, but we've gone so long. Maybe other than Slava Ukraini, and God damn it, we need to support Ukraine no matter what. And Donald Trump needs to do that. I hope in some way, I think, according to what I've been hearing, Biden and the Democrats have been pretty smart about getting a lot of Ukraine support, military support, weapon support, kind of baked into a lot of things that are going to be going on forward even after Biden leaves office, that can't be undone, hopefully, by Trump. But I say hopefully because you just never know. You don't know. But we as Americans, let's keep the pressure on our representatives, keep the pressure on Trump to keep supporting Ukraine. And I know Trump, he loves Putin with a passion. He loves to get down on his knees for Putin. And which, hey, I'm not yucking anybody's yum, but when it comes to being president, you can't let your love for Putin's dick, get in the way of doing the right thing. And the right thing here is to support Ukraine with everything we got and keep Russia out. We cannot let Ukraine fall to Russia. We cannot let it happen. So whatever you can do, letters, cards, phone calls to your Congress people, every way you can, let them know that we support Ukraine. We, the American people, support Ukraine. We're in Ukraine's corner. We are not going to let them fall to Russia. We cannot do it. Tim Farrell says it's a trucker Jonathan. Yeah, I've gone long. I'm 2.5 hours. Nick Rich, it would be nice to be able to watch previous live chats on my cell phone. I've missed so many live streams. It would be fun to see them on replay. I think you can. Just click on them. I have over 1,200 videos, many of which are live streams. I don't know how many live streams. I don't have 1,200 live streams, but probably a couple hundred, maybe. I don't know. I haven't counted those. And you can go on the old Trucker John channel, view my channel, and I have playlists, and you can go in there and click on one. But before we go, you think you're gonna get off without old Tough Cookie coming in, have a couple words? Did you really think that? Well, think again. You ain't getting off that easy. That old Tough Cookie coming in here, laying down some shit. That's right. Slava Ukraini, motherfuckers. Slava Ukraini. We cannot let Putin win. You got it? I'll go over there myself if I have to. I'll fight them all off. Fuck Putin. Fuck those Russians. Russia sucks. There was a great man who once wrote a song entitled Russia Sucks, I believe. It was a great person. Well, maybe it wasn't such a great person. I believe his name was Trucker John. Okay, in second thought, it was an asshole who wrote that song, but it's a pretty good song. Oh, that Trucker John was way out ahead of the curve on that one, wasn't he? I believe he wrote that song about 10 years ago. Titled Russia Sucks. And you know why? Because it does. And it doesn't just suck, like, oh yeah, it's like cold. And you gotta, live in shitty apartments. It's not that kind of thing. It's that it's run by a really shitty person named Vladimir Putin. He likes to gas and kill little children and innocent civilians. He has a history of doing that kind of shit. There's also a very a big problem there about gravity sickness, apparently. So yeah, Russia sucks. So we got to make sure we back up Ukraine all the way. I think that's what Slava Ukraini means. It means back up Ukraine all the way. Words to that effect. All right? So yeah, Slava Ukraini, motherfuckers. Slava Ukraini. I'm right there with you, Tough Cookie. Slava Ukraini all the way, man. I'm right there. Let's back them. Let's let them know we got their backs. Just, I don't know. We've got so many guns here. Maybe all of us citizens could just maybe send them some extra guns or something. Hell, I've got, I'm purple beard guy. I vote blue, but even I've got 17 guns. What do I need 17 guns for? I could probably let a few of those go. I really only need maybe one or two. I don't need all 17. So all of the gun owners here, maybe we should just all start sending our guns to Ukraine. Or not, and not, like I said, not all of them. I'm not going to get all of my guns away. But, I could probably depart with a few of them, And they're good. They're good guns, perfectly good guns. Shit, I got 3 AR-15s. Why do I need 3 AR-15s for? I could send a couple of those babies over, I got some Glocks. I can send those over, I mean, hey, I got some boxes of ammo. I can send some ammo over. So maybe all the gun owners here in America, and there's a lot of us, a lot of gun owners, lots of us. Maybe we should send them some of our guns and ammo. And that'd be another way to say fuck you, Trump. But I know it would be nice if you had an extra Abrams tank laying around. That'd be nice, but I don't have any of those. They could use some of those. That's true. Yeah, and maybe some airplanes, some fighter jets. That'd be nice. Maybe some attackers. I don't have any of that shit though, unfortunately. So yeah, we're gonna have to. Let's make sure that we just flood Congress with all of our phone calls. I guess. Let them know, hey, we back Ukraine all the way. Someone just told me that's what Slava Ukraini means. It means back Ukraine all the way. So I'm there. I'm with it. But I'll do my part. If I got to send one of my extra ARs over, I'll do it. I'll do it in a heartbeat. All right. So, anyhow, Slava Ukraini. That's all I want to say. All right then. Tough Cookie, Paul the Purple Beard Guy, made their appearance. Jolie says Trucker John has channel memberships, super chats, and you can support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing. You can also buy me a coffee over there at buymeacoffee.com. That's the link. Yeah, to support the show is it's always welcomed, so that we can maybe get some better microphones or more microphones. I don't know. And help share the show. Get us to Brian Tyler Cohen type numbers. I think America needs a Trucker John right now, more than ever. I think. Anyhow, guys, so it's been great hanging out with you. Sorry about the mic issue once again. I'm gonna have to remember until I get an extra mic that I can just plug in, that about 2.5 hours, maybe that's the limit on that mic. I thought they went longer. Maybe the battery or whatever is what do you call it? Getting less. Because I thought I had gone 3 hours before on that mic, but I had it plugged in the whole time, before. So, sorry about that. Sorry that I keep talking into this mic stand that has no mic on it. I'm sorry for that. Instead of talking towards where the mic is. I'll see you guys again. Rosanna says, I feel better hanging out with you guys. Thanks, Trucker John. Hey, Rosanna, I'm glad you feel better. And if there's anything this show can do, I hope we can maybe feel a little bit better. Have a little bit of hope. Maybe take our minds off some things. We talk about K-Cups the first hour of the show, Maybe, take our minds off some of this heavy stuff. But then, talk about some issues, and let's have some hopes about going on forward, fighting on, and all of us coming together, joining together, going through this together. We can't do it alone. We need to be together. We need to help each other, bring each other up, and we can do this. We can do it. We can get through it. We can get through it, but it's going to take all of us, really, I think, to just hold each other's hands and have each other's backs. So I hope we can do that, all of us. And so thank you guys for coming here and helping me, because you guys help me get through this. You really, really do. You guys in the chat, you guys are great. You're wonderful. I love you guys. I'll see you again Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Next week is Thanksgiving. I don't think I'll be doing a Thursday show. Maybe I'll do a Wednesday just for, shits and giggles and to make up for not being on Thursday. My travel schedule, yeah, that's right. I might be traveling Wednesday. But next week will be kind of up in the air. I'll for sure do the Tuesday show. Probably not Thursday because that's Thanksgiving. Then Friday, I'll probably be down in Southern Cal still. But probably we'll be able to do a Saturday. So next week will probably just be Tuesday and Saturday and maybe Wednesday. Just depending on what's going on. Maybe we'll sneak a Wednesday in there. There's a bug. I want to move. I want to move out of this damn bug-infested apartment. Anyhow, guys, thanks for being here. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys on the next one, Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. In the meantime, hang in there, folks. Hang in there. Get support wherever you can. Friends, family, House Sparks, whoever it is you go to, Trucker John. We're there for you. And we're all here for each other. We got to help each other out. But in the meantime, though, the one thing I really want you guys to take away from all of this, what you really need to know, and this is really important. Guys, listen up. This is probably the most important thing I'm going to say all day, okay? So here's what you need to do.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John.